Kathy Renfeld's gonna do November 15th.
So not on
Not
there.
today.
Okay.
I put her on just because I had emailed her and I thought maybe in case she, gets back to me, she was at. She said the 15th is better for her.
Opening day.
Okay, sounds good.
And we're not having the executive session.
Okay.
Oh, right.
We're ready? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm not recording, so here I go.
Okay, we'll call the regular city council meeting of November 1st, 2023 at 7 PM to order. Please stand and join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call please.
Mayor Allison,
Here.
Tom Baylor,
Here.
Kathy Sherman. Here. Stacy Kinsman,
Here.
Wendy Rainey. Here. Ann Schaefer. Here. Kristen Carpenter is absent, Ken Jones.
Present.
That's a form of council.
Move to approve the agenda for November 1st, 2023.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Any discussion on that? Kathy Brenfeld from the chamber is not going to present tonight. She's gonna be at the next regular meeting, so. Take that one off. Anything else? Okay, with no objection, then the agenda will be approved. Disclosure of conflicts of interest and ex parte communications. Being none, move along to the communications by participants and visitors. We don't have a guest speaker, so audience comments regarding agenda items. If anybody has anything to speak, come up, state your name and address and please your comments.
My name is Chelsea Hazeman, 606 Birch Street. I just wanted to speak to you guys about the pool renovations, and I just wanted to support holding off on those renovations until summer after the school year is up and after the ice room swim team season is over. I think it would be unfortunate for the kids this year to have their season disrupted in the middle of the season. And I think that the school swimming program is critically important to our community, to our fishermen, to our families who recreate out in our environment. And I think it's really important to teach those kids safety skills during the swimming program, so that when we do get to summer, they have an alternative option and can do so safely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, Tracy Newsy, 1.6 mile Woodshed Road, across from the marina. So I'm kind of echoing Chelsea's comments. The pool, as far as I understand, it kind of got created for the mission of teaching our youngsters how to swim. So if anything does happen through the summer, they know how to swim, they know how to get back to the boat safely. And it's really cool. I get to volunteer with the kindergarten class on Thursdays. And they've had 3 sessions so far, and they've grown from like being terrified to get in the water to like, what? Scoot back, Tracy, watch this. And can dive in comfortably, lay on their backs, float for 5 seconds without my help. And they just feel like, it's only 3 weeks and they already feel more comfortable. So it's really important. I know it's about $18,000 more. In the big scheme of the budget, it doesn't seem like that much of a percentage. It's definitely worth, I think, having the two months of potential with the work can take. I mean, the numbers probably, if you add it for a kid who's gonna learn how to swim, it's a big deal. And not to mention our really rad swim team that is growing this year. They're working 6 days a week now just to fit the kids in the pool. So it would be hard to halt that momentum. So thank you. I really appreciate your thoughts on that.
Thank you.
Hey, Brad Reynolds, 210 Boardwalk Way. Yeah, I'm also advocating for a summer refit of the pool liner. Main reasons are just that I think even though it's a 10% increase in the cost to do it in the summertime, the value of the pool in winter is tremendous. I mean, we have ice from swim team. I have one kid that's been on she was on for 5 years, another current member of the swim team, and we already lost 1 year due to COVID, and that was kind of hard to recover from. But the winter recreation value pool is incredible for the kids at the school, the swim team, but also the community. I mean, as we plunge into the heart of darkness here. I think that winter recreation is really hard to come by, as we know, raining, blowing sideways, but summer, you know, refitting the pool in July and August, that's a little easier time for parents, community members to absorb. There's many more opportunities when the sun's out, the days are long. So once you advocate for the summer schedule, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jason Lee, 214 South Second Street. I'm not a swimmer, but I suddenly have two boys who are. I've seen, the morale, and the numbers of swimmers improve and increase over the past couple of years. There's, a significant morale, there's a significant buzz about swimming right now. I guess I'm trying to stay relevant here. I thought I'd just keep you guys abreast or educate you guys about what's going on with the swim program right now. There's some really good things. And the kids get up at 5:45. There's 56 kids right now, out for swim program. They get up, 5:45, they're in the pool at 6:30. I also, substitute teach in the schools. And I know, not specifically, but generally there's hyperactivity and ADHD within these swimmers. They get this early physical boost, and I think they do better in school. At least I see when these kids get physical output or energy, they can sit through class a little bit better. So I know it's a lot of money, but I think the value for the community is far greater than the $20,000 or whatever it is. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments on agenda items?
About my glasses. Hi, I'm Lori Hanson, 310 Robert Road. I've been a volunteer with the Ice Farms for about 15 years versus a parent, and then on into everything else. Now I'm a coach and an official. I'm kind of everything under the sun as well. Luckily, I have a great team of people that I work with too. Also, for the past 5 years, I've been recruited and also been coaching high school and junior high through the school district. And I really, first of all, want to say how much I appreciate the pool and the rec leadership for their support with our teams and our volunteer run swim team as well for the high school. Sorry, for the ice worms as well as the high school and junior high teams. I think we've really coordinated really well at buying new lane lines together and kickboards and fins and whatever it is that's needed for the youth in our community. So I really appreciate them working with us for scheduling and all that. I just wanted real quick to say, with the shift, if this was to shift to summer, it could potentially delay a high school start, because we usually start in early August. But I think that that's something we can accommodate. And I'm really urging you to also look at this issue, but also the long-term issues with the pool. That's really gonna be the final thing, is keeping the pool alive or getting a new pool as well. So I appreciate it. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Ellen Eastman, and I'm part of Ice Farm swim team and medical school. And I think that the pool building thingy should be done in the summer, because in the summer you can still use the lake because it will be warm and the days will also be long. And swimming in school and the ice worm swim team is really important to our community. And yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Anybody else, comments? One more? Okay, thank you all for your comments, appreciate it. Chairpersons or representatives of boards and commissions, do we have anybody here from anything? BZMC, school board? Any other boards represented here?
Mr. Mayor, I think it's worth repeating that the hospital did represent last meeting and the CTC machine needs to be replaced. CT scanner. Yeah, so just for the public's knowledge and everybody here, it wasn't at the meeting now. Wasn't it like $80,000 last time we bought one? No.
I think she said 300.
300,
And it was a refurbished.
okay.
Okay, student council. Nothing in there, we don't have a consent calendar. Don't have any minutes. Consideration of bids, proposals and contracts, council direction the manager to negotiate a contract with Reynolds Court. For installation of a new PVC membrane liner at Buckhorn Pool. I think there's a motion on the page. On there.
I'd like to move that council authorize the city manager to negotiate a contract with Reynolds Corporation.
Second.
Do you have to pick it up?
Or
Yeah, do we have to pick an option?
that'd be best,
Where's that? Where's that?
and a dollar amount.
On page
Oh,
two.
there it is, for option 2, installation in July, August of 2024 for a total of $208,207.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, make the motion.
Well, I think we heard a lot of the reasons why the interruption would be better in the summer than currently. We have students that are qualifying for state that are gonna be losing times in that pool. It's a short-lived season. It's a limited resource. It needs to be done, and I think, if that's the direction we go, I certainly wouldn't put it past, working with them to help fundraise some extra funds to get that second option. I think it's important enough that we look at the summer option as opposed to, affecting the current season that we're in right now with it.
Councilmember Jones?
Yeah, I guess I would echo all those comments. I grew up here. I use the pool, learned how to swim in the pool. And, I've since been in the salt water unintentionally 3 times in my life and used those skills to survive. So I would not be here today if it wasn't for that pool. I would like to, I guess, ask staff if there's a way, this option 2 says July or August. Is there a way that we can make it July so that to limit the disruption in August?
Yeah, so that's part of the negotiation process with the contractor. They've given us a window somewhere between July and somewhere between August. And usually will take them 3 to 4 weeks to do. So yes, we will push for earlier. Not later, but it is dependent on a number of things, including contractor availability.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're not available in June. They can't do like a June, July. They have another pool they're working on.
At present, that wasn't an option which was presented to us, so.
So you're saying July may not be an option?
No, they've indicated July to August,
Okay,
yeah, so yes, July is an option.
this is for the pool thingy. Well, this, yeah, I would support that. It seems like it's being used, but this also ties into the discussion we just got done with on our workshops and it's gonna cost more money. We've got to do this. That ties into, do we raise sales tax to 7%? It ties into personal property tax. It ties into all of these things and how do we pay for these things? Because we know the community wants them. So gotta look at all of this stuff, the community.
Yeah, and I guess one comment I'll make is, yeah, first off, thanks to everybody who's turned up to support this project. it's really great, you know, and it's important because it's valued. Yeah, the prices are coming more than what we wanted.
Yeah,
Totally put that on the table. You know, as I said in the memo, initial price in 22 via those Cochrane conditioning reports were 165,000. My engineer that I've contracted said 175,000. It's coming more than that because we are in Alaska.
right.
This is difficult.
I think my point in supporting this is when if council does decide to raise revenues, taxes, another thing. These are the reasons we need to do this.
Yeah,
To
so-
provide these things.
Yeah, so to get to the 208, we've got a number of projects on the current capital list, which we can eliminate, reallocate,
Mhm.
or postpone and reduce funding. So we can structure this with the money that we've got. We're not asking for more money. It's just reprioritization of some of my department's projects on their capital list.
Yeah, let's remember. Who's gonna go first? Thank you for that. I mean, I guess I hope, you know, we can see the number here, it's 10% more. Is there the potential for that to be even more because we've let that damage go on farther? And this is from someone wanting to propose the later as someone who has students using the pool.
Yeah, there is a risk that we lift the Band-Aid off, because that's particularly what it is, and we have damage to the aluminum shell, because we have salt water and chlorine. My engineer tells me there are demonstrated cases of the model of pool that we have suffering deterioration to the shell due to failing lines.
And unfortunately, we won't know that until we
Yeah,
rip the Band-Aid.
yeah, that's the problem. And I hope that it's all well and
No,
good.
me too.
Yeah. Until we do
I think
it.
everyone in the room hopes
Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. You know, we know that we think we've got problems with what's called the inlets, so the jigs, they are no longer sticking. We've replaced them several times and they keep coming off. So that indicates to me, you know, I'm not an expert, but there is some form of deterioration there behind the liner, which is we can't attach anything to it. So there is a risk and we need to manage that risk. And if it comes back, we take it off and there's problems, we've got to come back, we're going to stop and come back. Because we can't, but isn't the remediation of that.
Right. And I guess when we rip the Band-Aid off, whether it's now or whether it's in June,
Yeah.
there's damage, there's gonna be
Yeah,
damage.
yeah, just the background, I don't have 100% solid picture because I haven't been here long, but that pool has not been emptied for a long time. You should really empty your pool every year. And there's a reason we haven't emptied it. Last time they did empty it, the water went down the wrong drain and it buckled.
Well, do we have a plan? I mean, with us getting a new liner, does that allow your department to have a schedule at least of
Yeah.
when we connect? Yeah, okay.
We need to maintain what we've got, so that's why I'm a little bit nervous. But, you know, we do a really good job of maintaining what we've got, but I can't undo,
Sure.
the past.
No, but I appreciate it. And then just to your point of, yes, you may not be asking for more funds for the 10%, which is great, but you just said you're going to cancel other projects, and at some point, those projects are gonna come back around, and the price for those projects are gonna be
Yeah.
even more than what they were
Yeah,
now.
so our main saving in this list is we had $45,000 allocated for a purchase of a new vehicle.
Mhm.
That's moved to an operating expense. Because we're paying
Sure,
at least, so
sure.
that saves 45,000, we can reallocate it to this. We were also looking at a swing set to replacement at the children's playground. We'll cancel that come back for another day.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, when that
Yeah,
swing set
yeah.
comes back around,
Yeah,
as we
yeah.
see,
Yeah, there's,
it's going to be more than what it is today. It will not be less. Yeah, well, it sounds like I will be in favor of option two, but I just want to ask these questions. The public can hear this as we rip off this Band-Aid. There's potential for the pool to be closed next season.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a real possibility as we get into it, and the damages are to that core, to the aluminum.
yeah.
And as we look for funds for that, that's
Tough, yeah, and
a completely different conversation.
also,
So some of Councilmember Rainey's comments, it would go a long way to see if the ice worms and then could maybe do some fundraising for this project as well, even if it's just good faith.
Yeah, I will also say that 208,000, my intention is obviously to try and negotiate savings.
Yeah.
Through that, that's a not to exceed.
Yep.
Price.
No, and I appreciate that. I have full confidence. Well, thank you.
Councilor Jones?
I just have a quick question for staff. I'm not well versed in the grant world, but is there any sort of grants that we can go after for some of this at a cost, or if we do have an issue with the aluminum?
Yes, I believe there's some federal money out there for community infrastructure, where the pool meets the grade, or there's a strong case for that I'm unsure of. But yeah, there are other expenses coming up. That's the other part of this conversation was, this is just one project. There are several projects at that pool which immediate need of attention over the next few years. And we need to make some hard decisions. Yeah, so we've got opportunity to, yes, talk third party money, but we've got to rely on
Yeah, I just think, that's a real reality is that the pool may be out of commission after this project happens, and that even more so means looking forward to letting the students that are currently qualified finish their season out, because we may be looking at an extension of a community with no pool. And I mean, these kids have had disruptions with COVID, they've had disruptions with travel, there's kids right now swimming in the pool right now that are qualifying times, and to give them an opportunity to see that through. And the what ifs that come forward, of course, everything's gonna cost more in the future, of course, I mean, that's the nature of the beast. But I think for right now, we can look at these kids, we can look at the unprecedented 56 swimmers in the pool right now, and we can let them finish their season before we look at whatever may be down the road for the pool. And look towards grants that don't have matches. That's a possibility. I know there's not, but I can say it out loud with a hope.
Having someone on the team.
Yeah, I'm also supportive of the option two and pushing it. I think there are risks in waiting, but there are benefits to the students and the kids who are using the pool, and also just the community having that resource in the winter. Yeah, during the dark times when there aren't a lot of other ways to move your body. So I'm in support and aware of the risks, but I think the benefits outweigh that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm in support.
Off the question. Okay. There being no further comments, all those in favor of option number 2 for the pool liner, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Public input does help.
Very effective.
You can go home if you vote otherwise.
And I just want the public to hear.
Reports of officers, the mayor's report. I apologize for not being here at the last meeting. Thank you, Tom, for covering for me. I was unexpectedly spent a couple nights in Providence and getting my fistula cleaned out, so that's all good now. So until the next time. Sobriety is coming up. Week and a half, 2 weeks. So I will be making some comments on behalf of the city for during the opening session of that as well. So other than that, I don't have anything else. You have questions? The manager's report.
That's the work session packet, is my city manager report. Not public work, that's all I've been doing. With the help of Susan and Kevin, without them, it wouldn't be nearly as good. Helen is improving. I think, we talked with her yesterday.
Well, today even.
Today, you talked to her today. Yeah, so, Susan gets to go visit her tomorrow. And, we still at least, probably 3 weeks out, maybe a little more interaction in a week or so. She's hoping to be out of the hospital by the weekend.
She's out.
Oh, they got her out?
Yeah.
Oh, nice,
She's
good,
out today.
okay.
Is she in town or?
She's in Anchorage.
So, and she'll be at her sister's. She has family.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So other than that, that's really all I have. Unless anybody has any questions.
Questions for Sam? Thank you, Sam, for all the efforts you do. City clerk's report.
Yeah, that work session packet is my report too. And Sam thanked a couple of us. I wanna thank the finance department too, because on their October 31st, which is their Hill Day, they were answering all kinds of questions for us so that we could put things together also and get good numbers, so. Tammy and Sandy and Barb and Brent did awesome for us. That's all I have.
Questions for the clerk? Was anybody going to AML?
Wendy is,
Okay.
not until December.
Yeah, I know.
And Kathy's decided.
I just saw the.
There's an agenda out, yeah.
There's a
Tomorrow or
day
next
thing
week.
in November too. There's like a 1 day portion of that in November. It's a Zoom training and then the rest of it's at the conference.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, some deadlines are coming up.
I might go too, but
Okay,
I wouldn't need housing.
okay. Well, just let us know
Worry about
on
that.
the, because we do Easy Biz with Alaska Airlines too, so I gotta do the tickets, because we might have miles and the credits and stuff. So.
Yeah, it's good when you use the system, Dave, you should get some training.
Yeah, I know. I gotta meet some of these other mayors. So, get somebody to call. Okay, correspondence. Got a couple of email from Dayton and a letter from Lutz. They're CVFP, yeah.
I'd like to thank Tony for his letter and the pictures. That was really awesome. It's nice to see when the city sends somebody to training, some feedback on that. I think that was just an amazing letter to read, and I really love the pictures. They're nice.
Absolutely, yeah, thank you. Any other comments? Feels he had some good ideas for.
Yeah, I heard along Ms. Hayden's comments, and I think we talked about this in our last week, our work session, bringing up 30-day and 7-day. We just looked at code and it is 30-day currently,
30 day.
correct? Okay, I wanted to go back to that for charging 12% on up to 30 days.
Correct.
Correct, yeah, the record, thanks. And if we weren't, I think we were all in favor of it going down. Glad to hear we are. Hopefully we're getting some enforcement, and that's actually what is happening. I guess another question for another time on how that's enforced. But
Okay. No ordinances, resolutions, no unfinished business, no miscellaneous business, then pending agenda. So.
and our room is pretty empty now.
So did we want, something brought forward to get the sales tax discussion?
I'll move a split sales tax. That's what I'd like to see move forward, and I think what was proposed was 5 and 7, that's what I would be in favor of seeing, at least starting a conversation and getting some ordinance draft around that. I think we've seen community involved.
Yeah,
I know you would, and that's why I wanted to speak first, to say something, to see if someone will second what I'm gonna say, because I know that's what I hear from the community, and Ms. Hayden was saying the exact same thing in her correspondence as well, exploring the option of a split. And that's, I would then like to hear and have everyone on record, and if it is business owners, then hearing their rights again and complaints and hardship that might cause them. But that's what I would like.
If we're gonna put on the agenda, we should put it on option of split or set. I mean, so we can discuss both of them that way and get comments from both of them.
We could put it on there with an option like we had tonight for the pool thing, you know, option 1 is
Yeah, split and not
split, and option 2 is just raise it.
Yeah,
Yeah, the split though, I would go with the 6 and 7 instead of the 5 and 7.
We gotta get something in writing so that we can.
Yeah.
right, and that's when we'll have the discussion. And then you'll get public input too, if we give it.
Yeah, if we can do that, I was under the impression I choose one or the other, but if we're going from agenda versus ordinance, is that?
Which are you trying to put on? Just a discussion item about it, or a vote as to which ordinance to bring forward? Or do I bring an ordinance for first reading? You can amend it on the floor.
I have a question on amendment, like what constitutes a major amendment where it would have to come back? If we brought forward a split and then we put it to a flat, would that be a large enough amendment where it'd have to come back?
I would say if you put it as a flat 7 and amended it to a split, that would be more likely to be safe to come back for second versus going the other way.
Going higher.
But that's,
we're not.
I was erring on the side of not putting things and making them come for an additional reading. And Holly set me straight a few months ago maybe. And it has to be more substantial than you think, but you also can just say,
I would
do it again,
I would prefer to
do it again.
have an ordinance. And then make an amendment if we have to go one more reading, we do, that's rather than having a discussion again. And then deciding if we're gonna have an ordinance again, and pretty soon we're 3 months down the road and we haven't done anything.
I agree.
That's what I've done.
Well, I would like to have whatever we do, put in, I would like to see it be effective on the 1st. I don't want us to have a situation where it's effective like midway through December or something.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to see, you know, if you get Holly's opinion back and it's too big of a change to be a floor modification, if we could just have 2 ordinances on the agenda and we can vote one forward and move one down, you know, that way.
Right.
They're both on the agenda and we can get the public feedback for both options.
There we go.
Good. Yeah, we're able to do that.
That's it. I second that.
That a girl. So put that on there. Anything else on those taxes that we needed?
How am I writing the 2? Straight 7 and 5-7, or straight 7 and 6-7? I guess you can amend 6-7 or 5-7 fairly easily, but either way, that might take a third reading. But
well, definitely a 7, straight 7, and then well.
there's at least 2 supporting a straight 7, right? 3. Okay, at least 2 is all I wanted to make sure of. Tom and Kathy. And then Casey had said,
I said 5, 7,
7.
but I
Let's
maybe.
go with 5-7.
And if we need to amend it, and can we have 3 on there, and is that too much? And
it might.
if we're getting public comment on this, and that's the intent of what we're trying to do is.
Yeah.
Public comment, 2 birds with 1 stone, and have it clearly spelled out, this is the potential revenue that's coming from each one of these. Splits or straight.
Will we have any information on what our deficit is looking like by this meeting?
Yes. So, before you even started talking about the November 15th meeting, which these 3 ordinances will be on, we need a special meeting on November 8th. The union is voting on the CBA on Monday the 6th. And I think the quicker we can get that voted upon and possibly passed, the quicker we can get on with our budget in an effective way and be able to put expenses in front of you.
Okay.
Well, I would just want to say, we haven't had a conversation about what the content of that CDA is.
It'll be in front of you after it gets approved.
It has to get approved by them.
But how come everything else that was on the table was brought before us, but now that it's something they're voting on, we can't see it?
Well, I thought we did talk about that.
Well, and I guess I haven't even heard is that what is moving forward, what we had discussed, and if this not the time to talk about that, that's fine too. So,
I think what is moving forward is,
The last best offer, that's what we all agreed with.
I thought so.
okay, I would really, really like to see correspondence if that's not the case.
Okay, I don't know what the happened before, so.
Okay.
I mean, I think that the plan too was to have Will available for that meeting. I think the process is that it goes to the members first. Because if the members vote it down, you won't get to see it anyway, or it doesn't come forward anyway, because that didn't happen. I can ask that question.
I would just like, yeah.
And it might be that you're not gonna see it until the day before. A special meeting doesn't need to be advertised for 24, plus if they're
Right.
voting on it at night on the 6th, you're not getting that packet until the 7th. There will be an executive session on that agenda, and you can have the executive session before the vote, obviously. So that is when you can
Okay.
get all the.
Well, I think what drove this before is that the contract was offered and accepted, and we all sat here at the time, was like, why didn't we see this? Because we would not have offered this. So that was the driving force of like, what are we offering? But I think to your point, I think we did get and to your point, if it's different than what we talked about, then, you know.
That's what I'd like to know. And I understand that our city manager, I mean, she was the one who we were having this conversation with, but is now disposed, and totally understandable, but I just want to ensure that what we put forward for them to vote on, and we had that whole process, so maybe even, I guess, who else was involved in that, kind of share.
Well, the lawyer.
The attorney will,
Yeah, and Cheryl was.
and Cheryl will be at the special.
But she wasn't at that.
She wasn't
No,
at
she
that.
wasn't at that executive
No.
session.
And this is our pending agenda and has been there forever, I think, but Title IV. We need to redo Title IV, and that will ensure that council has a role in the CBA approval process. And there are so many other things in.
Right, and I would,
Correct.
if you want to see that at the next meeting, I would be okay with that too. So we-
Meeting.
No.
Would you like to see that budgeted for 2024? Is that what you're saying?
What time, wasn't it? And then
Um,
nobody liked it, so we
yeah,
grabbed it.
and we're supposed to have a personnel committee and all this stuff that we're not doing.
And just because the union, if they go in and approve, it still comes to council for approval or disapproval at that point in time. There's
Now,
nothing.
my only comment was I hadn't heard follow-up since what we had put forward and discussed in the executive session, and now we're hearing that they're voting on something. I just want assurance they're voting on what we had discussed. That's all. And the people who were putting that out are not in the room right now, so.
Do we need to put something on as far as the ski hill on the sales tax? We need to put something on there to give staff direction to make sure that that happens, or do they know that that's our wishes?
The staff know that that's our wishes.
I think I heard it.
Okay.
So what time would you like to meet on the 8th?
This 5 o'clock gig is kind of fun.
I'm not feeding you all the time. My budget is gone.
I'm eating dinner.
You have what?
I work 5:30.
I mean, I was gonna suggest noon or 6 or 7.
Yeah, not-
Six.
Not new.
Six.
6.
Oh. Noon is fine.
No, hey, none of them said yes.
I make lunch. Yeah, really.
That's the thing,
You're retired.
6 P.M.
Still on the agenda.
yeah, we're still heading
We're
agenda.
gonna have a discussion on our tax cap.
Discussion or, some kind of ordinance to look at.
Yeah,
Well, I think if we're gonna do it, we should do it at the same meeting, because we can just rile up all the public all at once.
amen.
Yeah.
Well, I propose that we raise the tax cap to $10,000, and that would be our starting point.
But this is for the 15th.
Yeah,
Yes.
We've moved to the 15th. We're not talking about the 8th.
yeah, I know.
The eighth is just a special meeting.
I'm just
for the
clarifying.
contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, he meant the next
Ordinance.
regular.
Right.
I'd like to see options for that one too. I don't really want to support 10, but I could maybe stomach 4 or 5.
Yeah, I guess it would be interesting to see the different like revenue differences between, it's that we can't.
We can't do it.
Between 5
Do
and
not
7.
have the data.
We just did it for the building one. That showed what we were taking in property tax.
Yeah, okay.
But we had something a couple years ago. I mean, there was an estimate at some point. Maybe you could just like pull those numbers off an old packet and be like, well, in 2019, we estimated this. Off the 4,500, because that's what we tried to raise it to before.
Well, did I say, yeah, in very vague terms, because it's sales tax and you can't talk real numbers with sales tax, well, we can't say businesses, but I think in the packet I wrote, I did a cursory survey of several businesses that use the capital R. And I was thinking, you know, from the one quarter that I looked at, $100,000 in those several businesses. If it went to 10.
No, I'd like to see that.
But there was, in 2017, I think it was. Or maybe it was, I can't remember what year.
The
But
year that we
There was.
tried to
bumped
change
up
it to 7,500,
2,500 to 4,500, I think what it was. 3,000, 4,500, and then it got kicked back, but there was like an estimated, on all those
Yeah.
workshops we had all summer. There was an estimated amount that you had done the same thing where you had a cursory,
No, that was when we had it.
we had finance day.
yeah, so
20,
it was like 160,000, I think is what it was, but. It's gotta be in an old packet.
yeah, I'll look, whatever the year was that we had those two on the ballot, right? What was on?
Yeah.
The year we actually did, the ordinance we did was 3 to 7,500, wasn't it?
Mhm.
I think so.
Yeah, and then it got,
Shut down.
I thought it was just 45.
I don't think so.
Any information to bring with that, it would be helpful to know, like, $100,000, what is it? Is that a half a mil, is that a quarter of a mil? Just give a comparison on property tax mills, that I think that helps people understand. We gotta
If
get.
we don't raise it here, we're raising it somewhere else.
Right.
279 is a million. 279,000
Yeah.
on this year's values, maybe more next year.
Right.
In which case. I know it could be 300,000.
Right.
I would also like to see, you know, you had it in the past, but I'd like to see the current, like a pie chart of property and what's taxable and what's not taxed in the community. I would just like to see that at some point.
Oh, that's every time we certify the roll.
Yeah.
So I can show you, it was in a packet in
June.
We had it this spring.
Yeah.
May. I think we do it in May.
Yeah, just to bring it back when we start talking about this stuff.
All right, what did we say about the cap ordinance? What am I bringing? Did we say?
I wanna see 10,000, and
That's
that would
what I
be
said.
the.
2 people said 10.
the
And in
lowest
every
that
category,
I would
10. Put it to 10.
Yep.
I would like to see
I'm in favor.
less, an option for less than 10.
Me as well.
More number. It can be amended, correct?
Yeah.
But then may
They
need
do have
3
these other
reasons,
meetings.
so.
Is all I'm saying. So if we wanted to have 2 ordinances.
I mean, if I'm doing the 3 for the.
I guess
have 1 at 5 and 1 at
5,
10.
5,
5.
and then 1 at 5, 1 at 10, and 1 at current is 3, so, you know, because it's unchanged. Well, yeah, but it's always an option still. We could vote them both down and then leave it unchanged.
Well, we're going both down.
And then the current.
That's what I'm saying. It's the third
So
option,
there's 2 options on there.
2 options, but the third option is to do nothing.
No action.
Inaction.
No action, John. Just like what?
NEPA jokes.
Anything else on the revenue thing that we needed to add?
Well, do we wanna talk Okay, so we need to talk about budget meetings as well.
That's what I thought we were gonna meet next week or next Wednesday.
That was the.
Special meeting.
Oh, I thought we were gonna have another budget.
Oh, we can do that.
Well,
Yeah, I think if we're here.
except
That's not gonna-
so that would give me one more meeting in person.
It would give me one more meeting in person.
I mean, we
Rest I'm gonna
could
have to
do
call it.
operational general fund and maybe leave out the personnel.
There you go.
Yeah,
We've done that before.
Yeah.
Because then when you all get, when that all is just finalized, we could just,
you can have that ready for the 8th.
maybe I'll do my best. I mean. Everybody's turned their budgets in. I mean, they're in ClearGov. And so it's just operational. It wouldn't be like, the 401s and. all that other
It'll just be
crazy stuff.
general fund,
Yes.
everything that isn't a personnel line item, which are the top 5 or 4 or 6.
So it would give a little bit of an idea. I mean, obviously personnel is a big portion of it, but it gives you a good idea where things are looking that way.
Don't know if it's gonna be enough
And
of a
then,
change. Well,
we can have the information.
absolutely.
That's worth it aside.
And those packets would have to be out by.
Well, it's just a work session. I mean, I don't, Monday would be good. Tuesday is gonna be the special meeting packet, so that's gonna be enough for them to consider. Are you here next week?
Well, if you can't do it, then we can't do it. If we schedule it, you can come.
Okay, that's true. Let's schedule it for, all right, so what did we say? Special meeting at 6? So then let's just call the budget work session immediately following the special meeting.
There you go.
And I'll be on the phone for that one, but I'll have service on my Starlink.
Hitting agenda, anything else?
Longer than the meeting.
Well, that's okay, we needed it. And then we're assuming the 15th, obviously there'll be a lot of ordinances in front of you on the 15th.
with a budget work session then.
Probably.
And you think you'll have personnel by that point?
Well, depending on what happens on
Sure, that's fair.
the 6th and the 8th.
Yeah, I mean,
And our crystal ball that we have right now.
I guess if you wanted, we could wait till the 15th for all operational with personnel numbers, unless things, well, even if they go south, we have to put personnel numbers in them. We have to move forward with something.
Yeah,
So,
Can you put in last year's personnel numbers?
sure.
that isn't gonna give you any kind of
Well, we're gonna,
deficit that you need
we're,
to know exists.
Well, we'll know if there's a deficit with what we have from this year's numbers. We're definitely gonna have a deficit from.
Well, you saw the revenues, it was 358 down.
Yeah,
I would like to see the numbers with what was, I guess, offered. I don't know if we can do that though.
That's the whole point. Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah,
We need to
We
wait to
can't
do that.
until those votes occur.
And you wouldn't have that before having to pack it up.
You'll have that when you vote, so you're gonna know if, you're gonna know
Right.
if it's another 500,000 or another $1 million or another 100,000, whatever the number is, you're gonna know.
Right, and that.
We're gonna know at the time
and
of
that-
voting, right? Assuming executive.
Yeah, in
I've
the
never
executive
seen
session,
that. I don't know.
Cheryl does, Cheryl has the number.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, we know what we offered, so put that in there and,
Okay, work session,
and if they vote it down, then we know where. That's,
special meeting first.
special meeting, work session immediately following without personnel numbers, but I guess at that point you.
I'll talk to Cheryl about it. We'll figure,
Yeah, I don't think you'll be able, because you'll have to, when did you say they vote on
Monday.
Monday? And so we'd have to have that out on Monday before they vote and the vote's ratified and that any agenda that we put out could be public and we can't even put what we discussed because that was all in executive session, even if we're speculating on.
Special meeting doesn't come out till the day before,
I mean,
Tuesday, right?
I think we can, the numbers with the, I mean, it's just a line item budget. It doesn't say what percentages we're talking about or what was offered.
pending agenda is becoming an item, guys.
yeah, we'll,
I always.
We schedule,
I-
staff will figure it out.
I
If we can't
contributed
do it,
to
we
it,
can't.
sorry.
yeah.
Special meeting or workshop every Wednesday from now until.
Pretty much, that might be the case. not the day before Halloween or Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I will.
Can we have a harbor update on the 15th?
We're also booting you out of this room on the 8th. The harbor. We're meeting on the 6th, don't you usually meet? I mean, the 8th.
Won't be here.
What?
Be in Seattle.
Oh, so you're not having it anyway. Oh, perfect. Although I was excited to boot you. And have Kenny decide which one to come to.
I'm gonna be on my boat. I can call in a boat.
Hey, anything else? Things in the last call,
No,
last chance?
no.
You guys are good? Staff is good? Okay, audience participation. Last chance, last call. Okay, then moving on to council comments, we'll just go around the room. Kathy.
Okay, great, but big, huge thank yous to Sam and Susan and all the rest of the staff, and I hope you had a little bit of time for quilting and didn't really work all of them. But you did. Also, I was gonna ask, is there anything we could do individually or as a body for Halloween?
After the budget.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll like that. I just meant,
I would say if you want to do something as a friend, you can. The city sent something to her hotel or to the hospital room when she was in.
okay,
I would say that was from.
Somebody could pick up a card and could all sign it at a special meeting.
I will do that.
There you
I
go.
will make a card.
That'd be great.
Oh, I'm good.
Jones.
No comment.
Huge thanks to the staff for stepping up and, I think we had a really good discussion today and it was fun having, audience participation.
I just want to say thanks, again, at this point, Tony, for coming out and for just bringing some gratitude into our correspondence and into the room. So thank you. My gratitude to you. Thank you. Really appreciate it. And again, pictures, I wish we could see more of those. That was fantastic. So thank you. Thanks for being here. And just calling out again, our room is very empty. People were involved with the community was involved with what they wanted passed and it passed and that's great. And it's gonna cost some money and the money has to come from somewhere. So hopefully they'll be back to participate in where they'd like to see that money coming from. So that is always my thought, more community involvement in these meetings. So, because they affect you, each and every one of you in our community.
Baylor.
Yeah, well, for staff, you see it all the time in sports teams when the league quarterback goes down and coach leaves. The rest of the players, those people come together, pull through and do their job. I think that's a testament to the leadership that we had and to the people that we have here. So, big thank you to everybody in staff and working in the city, helping to get through the budget time and keep things moving forward.
Okay, sounds good. All right, there being no further business, we will be adjourned.
Everything on that.